Hello. What's going on? We're gonna do some stuff this evening. Take care of some business here. Let me know if the audio is good and if you can hear me okay and the music's not too loud. Alright, so as I did in the last stream, this time we're going to be doing it on purpose, but taking a trailer that I have and getting it in game. I'm hoping I can do it in a couple of hours, show you every bits and piece of everything that needs to happen, and yeah, including all the dev work, setting up the files, setting up the folders, stuff like that. So, let's get started. If you have questions, of course, you can pop them into the chat. I will check it when I can. I'm going to try to just move as quickly and smoothly as possible so that you can follow it easily in the future if you decide to. So, to start with, we're going to start doing the file folders. I've already done this trailer once, but I'm going to do it again in full right now. So this is a Dorsey. It's a shorter trailer, like a 32 or 38 foot, I think. So essentially what we want to do here is we want to set up our file structure for it to work in Blender in the middle format, which is, they call PIX, P-I-X, which is PIT, PIM, PIA, so PIA, PIM, PIT. So those are the files that you deal with in the middle format, which means it's not been converted to use for the game, but it is saved with all the information, all the texture information, all the materials information, where everything's located in the space, all how the animations work, all of that stuff is saved in that middle format, what they call middle format. And that's what they work with before it gets exported into the game. So that's what we're going to be setting this folder up for. So I'm going to call it, since I already have Dorsey EXP, we're going to say we're doing this for 142, so we're going to do 142 EXP. So there's a couple of different ways you can go about this, and now that Converter Pix wrapper is a thing, this makes our lives a ton easier than, say, my 100 subscriber special. That showed you how to manually convert all the files that you need with Converter Pix and all this stuff, and you don't really need to do that anymore. You need to have Converter Pix wrapper installed in Blender, and then you can import an SCS trailer, and you have all your nodes, your shadow, you know, every little bit and piece that you need to make the thing work without doing too much extra work, as it were. So, hey buddy, how are you? Good to see you in here. So here we have it's an empty folder right now, right? So we don't have anything in it. And what I can do is I can change my project base path over here in Blender. Now I do have the screencast keys on, so you'll see down here this, when I click, it'll tell you what I'm doing. So you'll be able to see what that looks like. So we want to change the directory. I don't know why this keeps going up there, but anyway. So we're not working on the 3xx, right? We're doing our own thing here. So we're gonna go here, and then we're gonna go, where was that? Was that in here? As you can tell, I have too many things. Okay, so Dorsey 142, we're gonna select that directory. All right, so we don't have anything in it. Can you explain how to wiper animation in interior? That's not really what I'm doing in this video. There are a couple of different things you need for wiper animation and interior. They're the same as exterior. It's attached to the interior animations for, so they get attached to the interior dot PMD, or the anim PMD. And then in addition to wiping them, they need to have a bone that's attached to the blade that tells the game to remove the rain on the windscreen. And then inside the glass.sui, you need to specify how long the blade is and how big the window is. So you have a lot to do in that regard. Drew, I'm doing good. Had a little bit of a long day at work, but we're hanging in there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to import the OBJ, which is the Dorsey box. So this is going to be good because this is all one file. As you can see down here on the bottom, the whole thing is less than 8,000 tries. So it is not big at all. Very easy to work with. Fairly easy to separate. So now we have our trailer in here, and you know, it's all one piece. So this is where it gets, you need to start deciding what you're going to do. How are you going to break it up? Yeah, man, I hear you. And then, you know, not sleeping because you're doing this doesn't help. So like I said, this is where you make decisions on what you want this trailer to be. Are you gonna have all kinds of options? Are you gonna have like chrome sides? Are you gonna have you know, different locking mechanisms in the back? There's all kinds of different things you can go with. So I would separate this now, but I'm going to import another trailer, the SCS trailer. So this is, what do you think? That's got to be 38 or something. So what we're going to do is we're going to import using ConverterPix wrapper. And we're going to go to D142. Oh, you know what? I don't even have to do that. So we're going to find our Steam library. Go to American Truck Simulator, and here's our base. Now we're only opening something from our base. So if you're opening another truck or another trailer that's outside of that realm, like for example, the Western Star, you'd want to add the base SCS to your archives. So that's also going to take into account all the files that you need in order to open that truck, so you don't end up with errors in your log when you do that, right? But we're not doing that. We're just opening base because all the trailers are in the base that we're going to need, all the dry van trailers. So if we go to vehicle, it's going to come up with this thing here. So we start off here. We're going to go to vehicle. And I'm going to make this an own trailer. So we're going to do SCS box, chassis. So I think 45 is too long, but 38 might be, 32 might be too short. So what we can do is we can import, these are at the rear, right? 45 rear. Yeah, wheels are at the rear. So we're going to import this and see what we're looking at. So that actually is, oh, and it might be a good size actually. So let's do this, right? So here's this trailer. This is the chassis of that 45 footer. So if I take this entire Dorsey box and I grab Y and then we drag it over here, I mean, it's by no means perfect for sure, but I think we can make that work because we can move the shadow and we can kind of address those issues. Or I could even move the entire trailer forward a little bit because I was only matching up to here, not necessarily where the other items were. So this is where it's like you need to figure out what works for you. So like this is where the hook is, right there. And if I hide this, and we can see that hook is actually up a little bit higher. So we may end up having to actually raise this whole unit up. So let's go under here. And see where so the trailer wheels seem to be at the same height, but the trailer itself is a little bit, the SCS trailer overall is a little bit taller. So if you want it to work with SCS trucks, you're going to have to raise the body up, and or drop the nodes. So what we'll do is we'll grab Z, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we'll see where that is in relation to this. So the hook is just kind of sticking out there. So we may have to lower the hook on this. But again, this is all stuff that you're gonna figure out kind of on the way. Does make it hard initially. And what I may do is steal the SCS part of this, because the only thing that's going to be similar here is this connection, and with the electricity, because these will not connect with, they won't look good, if you know what I'm saying. But we'll get there when we get there. So we have most everything we need. The other trick I'm going to do right now that is important is we have the, oh good, we have those already. The render is good. So rendering is important. when you're doing baking and stuff like that, you're going to want to disable all the pieces that you don't want rendered in like a when you're doing an AO bake. So now go to see-through mode. So those legs actually go up pretty high, so I can drop those to the floor. Like so. And again, they're pretty basic, but this is supposed to be an older trailer, so they're not going to look like the brand new ones with multiple things, etc., on them. Turn that off. So at this point, we're going to go through and steal this stuff. Make sure it's not attached to anything else on the trailer. We'll go back to see-through mode. No. So I'm going to hide that. And we don't want the base, but we want this. And we want, come on. So this Dorsey's probably a 40 foot, I would guess, something like that. This isn't attached to anything else. No. I'm gonna hide that. Okay, so we have those, we have our nodes. We don't need the base of the other trailer. So you could transplant everything if you really wanted to. Okay, so all we have left is nodes, and this is just the chassis nodes. This has nothing to do with the body nodes that you would need. But that's only for the cargo, so we're not going to worry about that just yet. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to rename this chassis 40R, and then I'm going to go back to our directory structure, and you'll see that now there's stuff in here. So there's material, environment, there's reflection things. So there's all this stuff. You'll have to excuse the cat meowing in the background. And we can see there's the chassis DDS files and such. So, what can we do from here? Well, we know this isn't going to be an SCS box trailer. I'm going to call it the Dorsey 40. Or even Dorsey 40 like that, just so it's different. So what does this do for us? Well, yeah, I know. She likes to pick stuff up and carry it around and meow. What I'm gonna do right now is these are TOBJ files, and these are files that I might want to use, especially the chassis file, because it might have the light texture in them that I want, stuff like that. So when I go in here to pull those out, what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit them with Notepad++. If you do not have Notepad++, you need to... I didn't want to edit the DDSs. I wanted to edit the TOBJs. Thank you very much. This program is crucial. Crucial. So this right here. Nope, I don't want that open, or that, or that, or that. So when you see this, and I press Control H, I called it, what did I say? Dorsey 40. So now, oh, I meant to do it for all of them. Replace in all open documents. So now chassis is done. Now you can get around this also by doing this. This is the same. Which is what would happen if you had a TGA file that you saved, which I'll show you. So this we don't need, because it's going to be our own trailer in a minute. Okay, so we got our chassis 40R. The other thing that's going to make your life easier is to go over here, and in the bottom right, of course, where you can't see, there we go. There's this button here, allow custom export file path. So when you pick this, so now anytime that you export this thing, I can export this right now, and it's going to save to that folder. No matter what I do up here, I could put, you know, Bob's Your Uncle in here as the export path, and it's always going to go there. And when you import something like this, you want to make sure that this right here is enabled. Preserve path for export. That means that will automatically be filled in over here once you import something. So no matter what kind of mistake you make up here or whatever, it's always going to save it in this location. Very important. Time saver, super time saver. Okay. So we have all these parts, and we want a couple of them actually to be visible on the front of this thing. But we're going to get rid of this foolishness up here. So we don't want this ancient whatever that is thing. I mean, I know what it is, but like, we don't have those connectors on this truck. It's gonna look silly if we don't do a little upgrading. Okay. So I can leave this over here if I want to. I don't have to, you know, get too fancy with it. So let's see what is over here. Okay, so we're gonna have to move these a bit, and that's okay. We can do that. I think that's everything. No, I didn't get the nuts, did I? There we go. Aw, nuts. Grab Y. Now we're gonna go grab Z. because otherwise it's going to be hitting that lip. And let's check without that. So it's actually inside a little bit. So we need to grab like that. Okay, so now we have proper trailer cables and such. But let's just move these. Why is that one down there? Did they really put that up right there? Oh, because this is the shadow. Well, that was silly of me, wasn't it? Grab Z. Grab Y. Okay. Now it's almost like I know what I'm doing. How many tries does the game allow? It's based on object, so it's 25, 536, sorry, 65, 536 per object, and then per material is 65, 536, and I've seen trucks with like 3 million or 3.5 million tries. Just gotta separate it correctly. It's not advisable to have something that big, but it will work. So, OS key. I don't want to press OK. OS key. So what I'm gonna do for the, let's get rid of this. Hide that. Now I'm gonna break up the chassis, so I'm gonna put the legs. Let's do see-through. I mean, this thing is just crazy massive. Like almost hilariously massive. So let's do some scaling. You want to see some scaling, buddy? Okay. So let's scale that down. Nope. Z. Okay. Now let's do back here. So these are like extraordinarily simple back here. Nothing exciting. Very, very basic. Axle structure here and such, like nothing crazy. I don't know why there's that random triangle right there. Yeah, it's just not. So I would do this and this. Oh, there's even multiple. Where the hell is merge? Damn it. There we go. Okay. So we don't need that. So let's do face selection mode. This thing. You know what? Edge selection mode. Delete edge. Delete edge. There we go. Now we got the rails down here. So let's get those selected again. 3. No, that's not 3. Okay. Well, I didn't want to select that. Grr. Oh, because I'm on edge mode, like a boob. What's up, Yanks? Oh, plenty of people will get it. Plenty of people. Okay. I think we gotta select more on the back here. Got it. So that's the other part of the chassis that we want, P selection. So now we got, and you can mark these too. So these are axles and gear. Whoops. I'm just gonna put this on there. I mean, I guess I could select the whole bottom. Of course, it's gonna select the top. Hilarious. There we go. So you could do something like this. But then you run into the issue of like having to select all of these, and I'm pressing the wrong button, so it's not even saving it. That's fun. That's just super fun. Is there really nothing there? Is that what you're telling me? Could be an open gap. Could be. A lot of people say that, but I appreciate you're here now. Alright, so we'll call this... Why does it keep doing that? There we go. Okay. So let's do this. Hide that. Oh, this is gonna bother me. Nope. Like, why? Why won't you let me? Just let me select it, please. Yeah, so this is actually on the bottom, and it doesn't have, it did not save properly, so we're gonna select that. And that, and join it. So now we've got our edge over there again. That's good. So funny that there isn't one there. Oh well. Alright. Can I make a video? Can I make a video about flares? Yes, I can. How did you move the scene collection from the right over to the left? Oh. You mean like this thing here, you're saying? Easy. See this? See how it turns into a cross up here? Where my mouse is, way over here. See how it turns into a cross right there? Just make a new window. Do whatever you want. Put another outliner in there if you want. I bet you could do another one. You just have like 17 outliners. Can you imagine? That would be just silly. If you want to get rid of them, go like that, and go like that. Okay. Perfect. So we've got all our chassis stuff. Right, so nothing too exciting there. Kind of covered that. So what I'm gonna do now, okay, is I'm gonna get rid of that, right? We don't need that right now. We're talking about practice. Very few people are gonna get that one either. Now you just drag this right into here by holding shift. Drag the gear into here. Grab the axles, drag them in there. Okay, so now, if I subtract chassis 40R and then open the Dorsey box, all you're gonna get is what's left. Ooh, I didn't do this though. I thought I separated you. No. Said no. Okay. Now we can put that in there and remove that. Okay. So everything that's left is going to be. I did do donut course, and that was like 4 years ago, and I forgot it already. I'm not very good at making models. So now we have what's left, which is exactly what we want. So now. Here, we'll get rid of our body stuff. So we have our chassis. I'm actually going to move this because it should be at the back more. Actually, more than that. Why are you doing this to me? Grab. Why? Let's show up again. That's close enough. So I'm going to line up the wheel nodes. Whoops. 1 through 3. There we are. Grab. Y. Now remember, they're a little bit lower because we increased the height of the trailer. And I'm going to leave it like this because we want it to fit underneath trucks, which it won't do if you leave it too low. Okay. See, I don't know what's going on up here. Like, what did they do up here? What's this for? What is this thing? Like, what did you do here? It's not even... I don't know. I mean, you're not really gonna look under here, necessarily, but it's gonna look funny. Right? Like, that's attached to... I don't even know what. So, let's... delete faces. And delete faces. Yeah, it's a really old model. Even new models have errors, so. So now, you can take these two and then that one, and then merge them. There we go. Whoa, that is not what I meant to do. And this one, and merge at last. And this one, merge at last. Now we can get rid of duplicates. Oh, it's not, it doesn't do duplicates anymore. Okay. Alright, so now we can close these holes if we want to, which I think they were intending on doing before. Oh, there's actually multiple. Now this is a little bit extra. I probably wouldn't really do this. Normally, but I figure why not? Select all and press M. What would I do that for? Then they'd all merge at the center. That wouldn't be helpful. Hey Nathan, how are you? Alright, so now I can select all these, and then I can, or I could just deselect everything. What are you doing? Look at that. Oh, missed one. So now we're closed up. Let's do a edge split. I'll probably get rid of this edge just hanging out. There we go. Probably box in the rest of them too, but we'll save that for another day. Okay, so this of course turned into a disaster because we edge split it, so hold on. There we go. Delete edge, okay. What's the big update? Fenders for the 379 and the EXHD. Okay. So we get that done. So here's what I'm going to do. I'll put all these pieces together. Join. Oh, don't forget this. All right, so now we have the whole chassis as one piece. Now I'm gonna bake. So we're gonna go over to UV editing. I'm gonna have to turn the screencast keys on again. Oh no, they're on. Okay, good. Now, this right here is what the UV layer looks like for like the colorized part of this truck from, I think this was from Pedal to the Metal, which was a game from SCS, I believe, a long time ago. So these like axles and whatever, these are all different colors, and they had them separated to be those different colors. But I want to AO bake this, so I don't really care about what colors they are because I can change that later. I do a smart unwrap, and then I usually go in to text tools, and I'm not going to make this too big. 512 is fine because it's really pieces that aren't really seen. I will fill the selection and then bake. Well, that didn't do anything, did it? Because I didn't select the right thing. 4 times AO Legacy, 48 samples. Oh, you know what? It's gonna be broken. It's gonna be a problem. Because I did not go over here and put this on hide. Because that's a shadow. Don't want to bake shadows. Patreon to start. As per usual. Yeah, so we don't want this. So you gotta disable it in the render, which is selecting this button over here, turning off the camera mode. So let's do that again. There we go. Ooh, you know what else we didn't do? Is we didn't turn off the Dorsey box itself because it just put the tire underneath. As you can see right there. See, that's the underside of the trailer and it just put the tire there. And I don't want the tire there. Because that's going to be an accessory. I don't want it to be there all the time. So you don't want the shadow for it all the time if it's going to be an accessory. Because then it'll just, when you look under there and the tire's not there, there'll be a shadow underneath. Okay. So I'm going to save this Dorsey box file. So this is a texture. It's going to save it as a TOBJ. I'm going to save it in Dorsey 40 chassis. Make sure you come up here. Go to the Targa. We'll call this chassis AO Legacy. I lost my chat. There we go. So now we have a file. What does that do? Well, this is where you start making your materials. So we're going to call this Dorsey chassis. Okay. Adapt the color management. Yes. Okay. So now what we have to do is we delete the default material, and then we're going to make this chassis AO, and then do could do a couple of different things here. In this case, I'm just going to do a diff spec. Map it to the UV that's already enabled, which is this part here. Oh, you can't see that. That's not helpful, is it? How's that better? Okay. So you get a couple of windows here. This one is the material attributes. This is where you change your diffuse, which changes the color of the thing that you're editing. This is the specular. This changes the shininess of the thing that you're editing. Or the mirror-like attributes, as they like to call it. The shininess, the lower the value, the shinier it is. So the closer to 0, the shinier it is. The higher, the less shiny. So this is the chassis, so we'll probably make it pretty less shiny. I put it at 150, we'll say. Now we're going to go down here to the file we want to choose. Now we just saved the file. Do you remember where it was? Vehicle, trailer owned, Dorsey 40, chassis AO Legacy. This is the TOBJ maker. Just click that one time. You don't have to select anything in here. Not for this particular type. Well, now we're in object mode, so it's not really showing us what this does, right? So we go here to material mode. and it's just white. Well, that's not really what we want, is it? What about if I do this? Look at that, huh? That's fun. So we want this to be dark because it's chassis, right? So we're gonna drop it way down here like that. Now you can do anything you want with this. So you could separate these pieces. This is irritating me. Okay, so you can, if you wanted these to be chrome, say, you want it to be this more to be like a custom job. Go like that. Oops, I don't want to do that. P, select, go in here. Now if you want to make them straight up chrome, then you need some shared files, which we may get into in a little bit. But if I'm just doing like actual chrome using the AO file we just made, you can do this. So I just pressed new material button and it just creates chassis AO 001. Well, when you do it for 6 years, you have an idea of what you're doing, thankfully. So now we have this as a separate material. It's not going to be a diff spec, it's going to be a diff spec add NV no Fresnel. Because this is the chrome, as you can see, it is now chromed out. Probably want to increase that just a little bit. But there you go. So now you have chrome holding tanks for the what's that, for the lift, I guess? Either that or the brakes. But yeah, so these are the things that you can do if you want to do some fun stuff. Okay, so we've got our chassis there. We just have to check the reflections on this. I don't know why it's done this, but because it's looking for that base file. So let's go back up here. I think that's what we're looking for. Yes, it is. This is what? Okay. So these are all in that. And this is decals normal. So this is all just, what I'm doing is I'm fixing all the stuff in red right here. And just finding the files that it's looking for. How you tell is you mouse over the caution sign. And it'll tell you what file it's looking for. And since I just copied the directory over, we're just going to find the chassis tubj file where we left it, which is right there. And then we just have to find the normal file, which is decals normal. And there it is. Okay. So we've got those fixed. So for now, I'm going to say that's good. So we have everything that we need now for a chassis file to export it. We have all the nodes, we have the collision, we have everything. It's all there, ready to go. So now we want to export it. Oh, object piece 0. Okay, so what does this mean? These are errors. So you gotta fix these errors, right? Piece 0, which is what? Has an unnormalized vertex color. How do you do that? So if you go to this function here, object data, we're gonna clear the vertex colors out, re-add them. Piece 10 underscore 1, again, same thing. Re-add them, and then piece 2, same thing. Which is funny, it came off of an SCS vehicle and it's telling me that the vertex colors are wrong. Oh, because those actually had vertex color. That's funny. Okay. That's fine, we'll leave those then. Close. Export again. All right. So that, the chassis is done. Now, we're going to find the body locator, which is up here. This is the one I have selected. This is very important when you start to do this stuff. As you get quicker and better with it, it'll become easier. So we're going to do cursor to selected. So now you see this circle here is attached to that node. And that's important because once we go up here to import our SCS model again through converter pix wrapper, we're going to be selecting base again and going through the original thing again, but we're not going to be looking at the chassis, we're looking at the body, right? So that was a 45 that we imported. So we want to do that again. Now we're going to have to move it. No, maybe we won't so much. That's okay. So it's imported the body for us. Let's hide that so we can see what's going on. So all we have to do now is make sure that everything lines up and then adjust the interesting, it's giving me errors for the box, but that's okay. We're going to be getting rid of the box itself, so it doesn't really matter too much. But we want to make sure that the collisions and everything are all correct. But we don't necessarily want any of the pieces of it, if that makes sense. So let's get rid of the collisions for a minute. So here we can see it's showing you the different sides of it. So we don't need any of that. We could probably put the reflective tape on. That would be helpful, for sure. So let's do this, that. All right, so we've deleted everything that we don't need. What is this? Okay, so that's that, and that's that. Yeah, so this is the trick with these, is that the reflective tape needs a reflective layer over top of it, which nobody ever really tells you, but as well as the cargo node, which tells the trailer where the center of gravity is. So now what we're going to do is we're going to enable this again, and then we're going to check our collisions. So the collisions look good, other than the fact that this one is not big enough. So how do you change collisions? If you go to the object properties, you can change how long things are. You don't want to expand it in the window. You always want to do it with these things. Otherwise, it really screws up the collisions in the game. So let's move it back, and then we'll expand it. And now, it doesn't matter if the collisions are hitting themselves, but you don't want them to go outside of your model too much, because then it's just you're gonna randomly hit stuff, even though you weren't trying to, because it's gonna be outside. So you really kind of want to measure that up to like right at the door. And we could go a little bit higher, I suppose, too. So let's go grab Z and then change the Z dimension like that. And then we could do the same with these. And also the cylinders. I could probably pull these back just a little bit. I think that looks pretty good. Oh, we don't want those going down too far, though. Grab. And let's pull those back a little bit. You don't want to go too far below, because then it's going to hit the chassis of the truck when you're trying to hook up, right? So. Alright, so now we get our collisions available on our box. So now let's get rid of the collisions. Let's look at our Dorsey box here. So what are the parts that you would put over here? So we could do, how do you make it where every time import a model it's center? What is the scale like numbers for ATS? There's no, well, I mean, it's done in feet and inches, really. I mean, you can measure it in millimeters too, but if you go to let's see. Now I have to remember where it is. Units. So right now I'm in the metric system, but you can change this to imperial, and then measure stuff. But everything in SCS land is measured in... Oh, my video's frozen. That's nice. Cool. Stand by. Sorry about the camera. I don't know why that's piecing out on me here, but that's okay as long as you can see what's going on. Every time... Why does this keep doing this? Thank you. Yeah, whenever you import a model, you want to make sure that you Shift S, cursor to world origin. So that's going to put the model in the center. No, it's fine. This is for learning. In between, we're going to have to figure things out, right? Yeah, so it's Shift S, and then cursor to world origin, and then this will go there. So then when you import something, it will end up in the center. Now, if the original model was imported, or if it was saved not in the center, then it just won't be in the center. There's nothing really you can do about that until you move it there. But generally speaking, most models are done in the center, and that's all you do to center it. No big deal. So now we got to talk about the body. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select these things like so. Now these ones are tough because these old models were built using tries, so nothing is really connected together. It's all done like piecemeal, which makes it hard to get things selected as you're seeing right now. I'm having to go around the entire model and make sure everything's selected and so on and so on. So sometimes if you're doing an older model, you'll get this type of situation where you have to select all these points and rotate around and trying to get it all figured out, you know? I mean, some newer models are like that too, but very few of them. All right, man. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate it. You have a good one. All right, now I don't want the door. Alright, I think I get everything here, except for the door. And the sides, I think. I think. That's the door. I don't know what this is for. What's this thing? I wish I knew. So this is what this is all about. Just going through here, finding what you want to make an accessory or whatever it is you want to do. And it's going to take trial and error and sweat and tears and all those cliche things that we talk about all the time. Okay. What's going on here? What's this? Okay, cool. Got those side rails. Yeah. What's this up here? See, what I could have done is done this the super easy way, which is not even bother to see what's on the inside of this model. But then you wouldn't get the full experience, which is much longer. Okay. So I think... Oh, nope. So what we have here is we have two different sides piled on top of each other. So one is like a reefer side and one is like an old just an old you know, box side, dry van side, whatever you want to call it. And I'm finding all these little bits and pieces that are part of one or the other. As you can see here. Like so. Now we gotta check the other end. Ah! Ah, ah. Yep. 100% agree. Alright, looks like we got everything. Perfection. Okay. here comes the payoff selection. So now we have that, and we have that. So let's solidify this. So let's see on the inside. So there's just no model on the inside of that. Interesting. Okay. So what we can do is leave this for now, and then we'll have also this outside part. So we'll take that away, and then what I want to do here is I want to pick up the pieces of the small stuff that I missed, like this, because that's technically part of the back of the trailer, so we want that, or the body rather, sorry, not the back. So we're gonna do P, select that. Get that all together. These are interesting parts out here. Just random, like, razor blades stuck in there or something? I don't know. There's two on the other side, too. What do they correspond with? Nothing. Okay. Well, they're coming out. That's what's gonna happen there. There's another one. Interesting. Is there one over here too? Confused on why there's stuff in the middle of this. And there. Just kind of unnecessary. Okay, I'll be here. So I wonder what we can do here. Didn't really do what I wanted. Did not really do what I wanted. No loose ones, okay. Well, we'll leave it as such. That's okay. So we're gonna again separate anything we don't need that's not part of the body. So the door, the hinges, the flaps, the tire, I think we got everything else. Okay. So now we got our box 45. We're gonna call it our box 40. So I'm gonna drop this in there. And this in there. So now we have this like that. It's a very interesting, very interesting thing that's going on there. Just for giggles, what happens when I do this? That's part of the door. I didn't want the door to come with me. Did not want the door. The door did me dirty. There we go. Stop. Okay. I mean, it doesn't really need this thing inside here. I don't know what that's for. Because all it is just blocking the door, I guess. But the door is already closed, so I'm just gonna delete it. Because when I do this, the door is sealed, so it's fine. Those doors are gonna get you every time. You'll also notice that this trailer does not have any lights on it, other than the rear lights. So at some point we're gonna have to address that, but that won't be right now for sure. All right, we also have these marker plates that we're going to grab Y. Place there. So now, what I'm going to do is turn on So I'm going to do two separate things. Here, I'm going to do two AO. One for the solid sides that we have here that will take care of the outside parts, and one for the trim, or the ribbed sides. I'm going to leave this on to incorporate the door hinges and stuff into the AO. You know what I should do is I should put the lights on the back. I can leave those with the rear fender, that's fine. Never mind. Okay. So, let's go back to UV editing. As you can see, it was already mapped out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create another map by coming down here and going to UV maps and then adding one. So now when I unpack this, it's going to unwrap it. I can unwrap the first one and it won't affect any skins that I may find for it or whatever that I can change. So this is going to be a little bit bigger. So let's do a 1024. Again, this is a very low quality model in general, so I'm not worried about how it looks necessarily. No, I want you to do the lights. Well, we're gonna do the lights on the back of this, but I'm not gonna add any more stuff that's not on it right now. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. I needed to unpack it. Or unwrap it, rather. Not helpful. Thank you. Okay. That's a lot of black on there. What's that all about? What is still showing? Just the thighs there. Alright, we don't need those. Just turn all that off for now. I don't want that. But that is okay. Let's try this again. Are there two? Oh, it's because there's 4 things on top of each other. That's just fabulous. Why can't I select that? What the hell? Okay. And I have the other one off. Yes, okay. Let's do that again. Whoa. Okay. Okay. Save as. You know what we didn't do? Let's change that. So we gotta go in here and save it there. Change it to a TGA file. So now we can apply it as a texture. So it's broken up on all the sides, but that's okay. It's not really that bothersome. But we get some good, oh, look at this. This is fun, huh? Looks like it's not there. So hide that, and you can see that it came through, as well as the hinges and the rear stuff there. We didn't get a bake on there because we took the wheel off. If I remove these, oh, it didn't bake up front. Okay, so let's fix that. these to bake on there. And yeah, don't want those to bake. That to bake, yes. And we got those, perfect. Okay. Let's go back here, select this again, and do it over. Okay. So now, let's reload that. There we are. Okay, so, from now, let's see, so you can put sides on. So you can do these independently, and you can also bake them independently. So we'll call this ribbed side. And then you want to go in here, and you want to probably do a little bit more than 1028. The retinuer has been hasn't been updated for 142, but it still works in it. Okay, so I saved that as ribs. So let's see what that looks like. Looks pretty good, actually. I might actually get rid of this side and mirror this. Which version of that plugin do you need? Latest version. Available on GitHub. Let's mirror this. That looks to be in a bit better condition. Yes, you can. Blender is a very powerful tool. Everything that we do in Blender is literally like 5% of what it can actually do. Do I make all my textures inside Blender? No, usually I make the AO and stuff inside Blender, and then if I have Chrome or something, I use the shared files from SCS. And if I don't, all the other textures, like if I find wood or something on the internet, you know, I'll grab that and make a square texture out of that. If I find a light that I like, I'll make a texture out of that, paste it all on one image with like Photoshop or Paint.net or one of those types of things. So I'm gonna make this outside look kind of steel-like. And then the this front panel, I'm going to make a front paint. Oh, I gotta make a TOBJ for that. Perfect. So there's your paint front and your paint sides. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. You know, so you can go, you know, you can go cuckoo bananas and make this top separate and then do paint like that. So you could paint the top of it if you want, you know, whatever you want to do. And then the template is like this. So if I select and then I select this, so I'd have to fix the front. That's okay. And this only has one side, so I'd have to fix that as well. Oh, that's not even the side I wanted to. Oh, that's the mirrored side. Okay, good. Okay, so let's do the door. Oh, I don't want to do that. Separate the flaps. Do you have the UDIM for ATS? What does that mean? All right, so let's bake that. Well, that looks good right there, but I forgot to do what you need to do, of course. Forgot to show you what I'm doing. Okay. So I saved this as Targa Doreo. Let's get back in here. I'm going to end up separating this, so we'll do diff spec to start. Okay. So now we can take this, 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 and this. And pull that off. And we'll do door paint. And go there. And go there. And then again, come down here and go to excuse me, Doreo Legacy. And now you can get your color back door. So I think we actually have everything in. Just the reflectors aren't showing up, but that's okay. So I'm going to export this to box 40. Just want to make sure that we have all of the files in here that we need. What does that say? Decals? Decals. Pay attention, Jeff. And then the normals file. Oops. Okay, that part is set. Move these down to the rail, and then move them back. All right. I think for now, we're going to stop this because I am fading very quickly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, we changed all of our files, made sure that they were all set. We adjusted the collisions. We AO baked a bunch of items. We did a quick paint on there. Got the trailer looking pretty good so far. So hopefully tomorrow, or potentially Monday, we'll be able to finish this guy up. Show you the definition files and stuff and how to edit all that, and we'll finish exporting this to its appropriate place. Yeah, that's a very, very old post. We don't have a 357, 377 anymore. It's Project 3XX. That is it. All available to download directly through Patreon. You're welcome. All right, so we got all those things exported. I can show you what that looks like here. We don't need this SCS box folder anymore because everything is included in Dorsey 40. So here's our body, which is box 40. As you can see, it was exported at 12:38 a.m. All three, the collision, the materials file, and the tri file, all there. Chassis, we have our collision, materials, and tries file there. Everything is all set to go. We have some of these that we don't need necessarily, but we'll deal with those tomorrow or Monday, and we'll see how this thing looks in the game. Thanks for checking out the video, guys, and look forward to talking to you soon. Have a good night.